Hi, blessed and beloved jewelry community. Welcome to this video number 10 on jewelry drawing. Today it's a special video. I will be using my Wacom tablet and Corel Draw to make this kind of jewelry drawing. As you can see, I've already made the front view, so you can already see what the goal is, and I'm going to show how it's done. Some people are asking me to explain more. I won't be doing that because I deeply believe in making, and as I make, you can watch what I'm doing, and that's how you will learn. It's not through talking that we learn through imitating, trying to emulate what we see. That's why I make videos, and I make long videos. Well, this one has been sped up, and I'm doing the voiceover, but so we will all have more fun. So what I'm doing is I'm in Corel Photo Paint. This is a bitmap software. I removed the white with the white color mask. Then I picked three colors: light gray, medium gray, and darker gray. Then I did a new layer under the first layer, which is the technical drawing. The technical drawing is from two of the Blender tutorials. I will post them in the description section. You should look at this tutorial to see how I made this engagement ring design and the technical drawing using the very famous 3D software called Blender. If you don't know Blender, you should know Blender by now, especially if you're following my channel. And today I will be making the digital painting. Okay, so I first made a light gray layer. I painted the entire metal with that. Now I'm using the middle gray, and I'm making some reflections. So on metal, on polished metal, there is no such thing as a shadow. Shadows don't exist on full reflective objects. There are no shadows on mirrors. So this means that what we are painting are no shadows. So even so, we call them shadows, but that's wrong. They're reflections. On the polished metals, all we see is the reflection of the surroundings. So if you're taking the picture of a jewel, of a polished jewel, what you will see in the jewel is you holding the camera. So now, this is why there's a tradition, a very old tradition, on how to paint jewels. And that's what I share, and that's why I actually share it, because I want that tradition to stay alive. Because sadly, some modern, well, let's say so-called modern academies, and some are very famous jewelry school, well, sadly, they're totally wrong about the way they're painting the jewels. Well, that's their problem. And even if that's the new establishment, I don't care. It's just wrong. So I don't care about what tool we'll be using: gouache, pencils, Wacom tablets. The concept on how a jewel is drawn has been the same for the last 500 years, and it has been so for very, 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 very good reasons. So as you can see in the video, I'm now painting with black. And that's where you'll find the main difference. In some books, they would stop at 3 level of grays, or just a couple level of grays, and that's too sad because it misses totally the point, which is magic. Drawing a jewel must bring the jewel to life. And again, it doesn't matter what tool you're using. What we use to make the drawing is a tool. A pencil, a brush, a computer. They're tools. On how to paint the jewels, that's experience, studying, hard work, and hard work, and hard work, and thousands and thousands of hours of practice. All good artists know that in life, 1% is talent, 1%, I repeat, 1%. Talent just matters 1%. All the rest is hard work, hard work, hard work, and hard work. So, obviously, I was born with the talent for drawing. I know that since I'm a child. Some people think that I'm bragging when I say that like that. Well, they're wrong, and they're wrong. It's just the fact. You can go check the fact that since I was in kindergarten, anytime anybody would ask me to draw something, my drawings would stand out for any kind of reason, good or bad. I did not choose that. I was born like that, and as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. So that's very likely why also I did become a teacher, and that I created a school. But also I defend, and I really defend it. How I defend it, well, that changes from time to time. I'm done fighting because I simply started doing. So I'm not here to discuss who's wrong or who's right. I'm just doing my job. And I've been doing it for the last 16 years. Every day, non-stop. I've been making jewelry, I've been drawing jewelry, I've been designing jewelry, I've by hand, in wax, with the computer, with my students, designing and making and drawing jewelry for the last 16 years non-stop. And with a lot of very, very good times and experience with more than, well, hundreds and hundreds of students. I stopped counting them. I know that I've had more than 1,000 students by now from all over the world. I will keep teaching. I still teach, but just in a more private form. The school will keep existing as long as it can. The pandemic hasn't changed much. Obviously, I do work a lot with the computer anyway, so, and I do teach online, but don't ask me if I teach online because you won't find the information, and people who just ask me like that, sometimes I just simply don't answer that question. Okay, so about what I'm doing. So like I said, I don't want to explain what I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing. I'm using the brush tool and the smoothing tool. It's the only tools I'm using. So it doesn't matter what software you want to use. I prefer Corel for many reasons. That these are my personal preferences, and that's my life. You can use any other software. Nobody cares which software is best. It's not the software. So technically, yes, for the tablet, Wacom is, well, I don't work for Wacom. I don't have any reason to speak well about them. Just maybe, well, I did buy a Wacom a couple of weeks ago, and there are technically better than other tablets for a very simple reason. The pressure levels they use, and also because the Pro Pen has the eraser side and the tip side, so you can see that the Wacom development of the tablets is more efficient for artists. So yes, sometimes there are technical reasons why something would be better than something else, but then again, if you're good at what you do, it's not much in the tool. Okay, so I made 3 levels of gray, then black. I'm using the smoothing tool to detail absolutely everything. So like I said, the technical drawing, well, the design I made in a Blender 3D tutorial. So the ring is my design, and then we make the technical drawing. So as you can see, the technical drawing has some imperfections. The secondary type of lines, the gray lines, which are almost dots, seem to damage the drawing. But if you look closely at what I'm doing and what's coming out, these imperfections are very much welcome because they participate in making some light and shadows during the digital painting. So, and that's also very important. Many people are all about perfection. They sell perfection, they show perfection, and they seem to have a perfect life. I was never fond of that idea and never will be. Life is not perfect. You will never be perfect. You can always get better at something. There is always somebody better than you. You're always better than somebody else. You can only train and do what you love more and more. That's all that matters. So it's not about your level, and it's not about perfection. Imperfection is needed to have a good life. A perfect life just doesn't exist, so don't care much about perfection. Your first drawing are going to be a mess, a pixel soup. They're going to be a total disaster. They're going to be ugly. They're going to put you to shame. You're going to cry. You're going to try again, and you're going to cry again. You're going to fail again, over and over again. And that's learning. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm showing how to create the diamonds. I'm using the vector software, which is Corel Draw in this instance. And I'm just drawing black and white triangles. It's all I'm doing. Obviously, I'm following the faces of the stone. That's why I took the time to protect the drawing, and I did not touch the stone's lines at all. You can see them because I use them to make the small triangles in those shapes. So I'd be doing black and white triangles. It's very important to make many of them in small ones. It's also important that the tips of the triangle all match somewhere. Then I will be doing some gray triangles so that every stone looks a bit different. That's important. Never repeat yourself. That's not good. Well, when you're learning, it's okay. You might repeat the rules all the time and do the same all the time. and be bored the same way all the time. But believe me, if you want to get better at what you do, stop repeating yourself. Stop using always the same technique. Stop using the same tools every day. Stop thinking the same every day. And all of that. Obviously, that's part of life. And that's why I have my own belief about what learning is and what teaching is. Many people are not, and that's something important, I think. Many people don't agree with me. I don't care about that. That's their problem. I agree with myself. And sometimes not even. I don't even need to agree with myself. Life is not always about that. I might be totally wrong. I might be totally right. You might be totally right. Or you might be totally wrong. But generally, we're all right and wrong partially. So it doesn't matter anymore if I'm wrong, you're right, who's wrong, who's right. The only thing is that maybe some things are done better in some ways. So that's why I do the videos, to show how I do things. Okay, so I finished the triangles. I finished the painting and the smoothing. Now I'm going to take care of the very small details, some parts that I missed out, some part of the diamonds where the lines got cut off, or some tips are going out where they shouldn't. And as you can see, as I would paint in real life with a real pencil, I will take care of all and every detail. That's where the value is. That's where the art is in what I do. The details. A jeweler is all about the small details. To a normal person, these details don't matter at all. They're laughable. They're ridiculous. They're useless details. They're so small. Thing that so many people won't see, won't notice. Well, that's exactly my job. Take care of that. And because I take care of that, you don't even notice that I took care of that. That's my job. So basically, my job is not to get noticed. It's to take care of things that you will think they were always there, like that. That's my job. To make it seem so obviously natural and so simple. My job is to make you think that all I do is fun, easy to do. And when it's done, it seems so easy, so simple. And that's the biggest trap of them all. That's why I really do believe in efficiency through simplicity. It also comes from, obviously, Oriental schools, from I would say things that have nothing to do with jewelry. That's why if you want to learn jewelry, well, first you should learn jewelry making, old school. Many people are asking me what computer they should buy, what they should study, blah blah blah. Well, make jewels, learn to work silver, learn to work gold, learn how to weld, learn about soldering, about using all the normal jewelry making tools. If you don't know how to make a jewel, do me a huge favor, get lost. Don't design jewelry. Just go into the wood and get lost. You will do us a big, big, big favor. Computers are just tools of doing what we're normally doing, which is making jewels. That's what we do. We are jewelers. We make jewels. Good or bad, but that's what we do. We make jewels. The computer is a really good tool to design, to draw, to show the jewels around the world through the social media. And it's really cool because it's the newest technology, and it seems so easy. Just look at me painting that jewel, blah blah blah, some pixels there, some triangles there. It seems a kid could do this. Well, a kid couldn't do this, even a very lucky kid, because you need to know many things to make these drawings. And that's because we make jewels, and we paint jewels, and we draw jewels, but we make jewels every day by hand. Okay, we've suffered so much of making jewels that drawing for us is breathing, is life. It's the easy part. That's why it looks so easy. Okay, now I finished painting. So 5 levels, 3 grays, black and white, some vector triangles for the diamonds, some copy paste on the mirror side, some light effects. Then you put a paper background. You can scan it, you can find it on the internet. Use your own paper if you can, or not, or buy a texture. Then we put some light effects, a shine there, a shine there. Don't abuse these effects. Some shadows. Then I'm going to do some border effects and some vignette effects with darker colors on the edges to give a small effect of burnt paper on the sides. And really just put attention to the video and you might understand a lot of things. All right, so this was video number 10 about jewelry drawing. As always, I hope you liked this video. Thanks for subscribing and liking the videos and the channel, sharing the channel. I know that this is no traditional way. This is no traditional tutorial. I have my own ideas on what I have to do. And obviously some people agree and some other people just don't. Many good teachers simply do things and don't speak at all. So obviously I still think that I speak too much. But if you follow the videos and listen to what I say, well, I'm talking about everything that's around the jewelry, and I'm also talking about things that you should do and that you are not doing. And like I said, go and learn and make jewels. Jewelry making, jewelry making, jewelry making. That's what we are. That's what makes the craftsmanship. When you are good at jewelry making, the traditional craftsmanship of making jewels by hand, melting the metal, polishing the metal, all of that, you can start drawing by hand. And drawing is much more important than you might think, and much more important than many people are going to tell you that drawing is not so important in the jewelry business. That's why they are just businessmen, because they just want to make money and sell jewels, and they only sell jewels. They don't care about the spirit or the soul of the jewels. They don't care about our tradition. They don't care about real knowledge. They don't care about thousands and thousands of years of history, of jewelry making history. They don't care about human history. They don't care about the talent of the people behind the jewels, the cultures behind the jewels, everything that has been going on through jewelry history over something like listen well to that, 80,000 of years of history. Jewelry making is one of the oldest human activity on the planet. It's not about selling jewels. And again, do me a favor. If your goal is to learn all of this wonderful craftsmanship and tradition to make money, well, at the beginning, I'm going to understand you, because it's one of the main factors that drives people to jewels, to jewelry making, selling jewels and making money. That's okay at first. That's normal. It's like love. Most of the time, first, it's the look. The way she looks, the way he looks. That's what drives you to somebody. The look, the superficial appearance. It's the same with jewelry and money. Money is superficial. That's what's going to drag you to jewelry making. I get this question every day. I want to learn because I want to make money. What should I buy? What should I do? Well, like I said, go and learn jewelry making. Don't buy a computer. Don't buy a Wacom tablet. Don't buy any tool. Make jewel with any material, and as soon as you can, do it in silver, and then as soon as you can, do it in gold. Once you're able to manufacture a really good looking gold jewel with a diamond, and not for a business reason but more for a cultural reason and a soulful reason, then you might start drawing jewelry. And like I said, drawing is more important than you might ever imagine. And proof again is history, is jewelry history. And after all those years, because that takes years and a lot of hard work, years of hard work, making jewelry and drawing jewelry by hand, with a pencil on paper. Yes, that's what we use. Then do me that huge favor. Then buy a computer, buy a 3D software, and then make jewelry using 3D printing. But just then, okay? So that's why I will keep doing these tutorials and saying that technology doesn't matter. Your cultural reasons on why you're making jewelry should be more than just making money. Because actually, if your only goal is to make money, you will be poor your entire life. You will be a poor little being. Just one more dude, or man or woman, or transgender. I've had transgender students over all these years, obviously, and it doesn't matter who you are, but why you're doing things. That's what matters. So do me a big favor and try to listen to what I say and do what I say. What I show in the videos and the tutorial is the tip of the iceberg. It's the pretty side of jewelry making, 3D designing, and fancy software and powerful computers and a Wacom tablet and all of that. That's the tip of the iceberg. I've been drawing for 35 years. I've been making 3D for 30 years. I've been making jewelry for 20 years, and I've been teaching jewelry for the last 16 years, non-stop. I repeat, non-stop. So there's very little you might see actually of what I've been doing over all these years, because there's not so much, well, even if there's pretty much, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and talk to you soon. Bye.